My name is HUYNH. I was born in Da Nang, Vietnam.
No. Yeah, I was born in Da Nang too. Yeah, in Vietnam, Da Nang, in the central in Da Nang, you know. So,
Your name?
my name is HUYNH Chau.
Let's go back, all the way back in your younger days.
Yeah.
Would you tell me your childhood experience? What was it like?
Oh, my childhood experience is excellent. My background, actually, my parents, long time when they young and they in China. I am a Chinese background. My parents, when they young in the China war, they run to Vietnam. So they settled down in Vietnam. And I was born in Vietnam. So my background, my childhood, I go to a Chinese school. In Vietnam, they have one child. In Vietnam, the Chinese people very powerful in Vietnam. Before, before when I'm young. But so they built the school for only the Chinese people go. So everybody all around the city, country, go to that school. So the school is very big. The people, the Chinese people, they got very rich. So they donate the money and build the school for the Chinese kids go to their school. But when the Chinese people went to Vietnam, they have all kind, Chinese people have a lot of different names, Phu Chen, Quang Tông, Hai Nam, all everything, So that school, everybody talk different Chinese. The rate and the talk the same, but at home different talk. You Quang Tông, you talk Quang Tông, but the people in Vietnam, Chinese people, they keep their children talk Chinese. Even my parents, until now, they don't speak Vietnamese good either, So I grew up in that school. Until I grew up, I finished, and I go back to teaching that school too. Until the 75, the communist come over, because they won't let the Chinese people. That time Chinese in Vietnam, something happened. I don't know, politics. So they bring all the Vietnamese people take over that school, and they don't want us to teach. If we want to teaching, we have to teaching the way look like the Chinese Mao Zedong way, the way. But we use it that the Chinese is the Taiwan, but Taiwan and Chinese the same too. But different talk and and the life. But my childhood is excellent. No complaint. My parents not wealthy, but we live very happy, and and I grew up very happy until I have to escape here because the company come and they won't let us to do nothing. They don't want us to go to school. But when we young, that time we young, all time they tell you to go to do labor and do all kind of hard job for a week. Go to the mountain, something to, they say because you guys bad, you teaching not the communist way, but you teaching before the, so we can't stay. But every day, that time when they take over, every day they send one policeman that they sit on your house from morning until evening to what you doing. That's it. So we're not free, We can't say anything. They sit there, they watch you everything, every day like that, And something, if you say something wrong or something little, you forget, And maybe some night they come to tell you, go, nobody know. The young people, but the old people, they don't do nothing. That's it. So very, make you, before you show freedom, you do everything you want. And after that, we teaching, we Chinese school, we wear very nice clothes. And after they come, we have to wear black pants and the shirt the same exact where they come from, like that. So, because we have, and all the clothes we have to hide them or throw them out. We cannot wear. If you wear like that, they don't agree to you to do. That's how I'm worried, and we run. That's it. When I go, before I left, before 75, that year, everybody, not only me, all my friends, all neighborhood, so Look like live in Hong Kong and Taiwan like that the way, because the Chinese people are a lot in Vietnam, you know.
Before, yeah.
Before.
Before we get to further in
Yep.
the war,
Yeah.
we're just gonna still talk about your younger days.
Yeah.
Before 1935.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you went to Chinese school. So
Yeah.
your first language was not Vietnamese.
Huh? First, my language, Chinese.
Yeah.
My hometown, my parents from China, Hainan. You know the map, the Hainan very close to Vietnam. So the war in China and everybody take small boat very close to Vietnam. Come to Vietnam very, very small. And that's how we build up. And after we build up, and the first language I talk with Hainan, you know. And we go to school with him, we talk Mandarin, Cantonese, you know, we learn in the school. You know, so I don't go to Vietnamese school. And my English in Chinese school only 1 week, only 1 hour or 2 hours. We don't learn, we only prepare for the re exam, and we don't talk, we don't know English. And when I come here, no English, no at all. So because we don't think we will go, who going to think your future, right? We enjoy, at that time young too, you don't know anything, you just enjoy your life, you have so good life there. We weren't wealthy, but we enough home. We have love parents, we have relatives, neighbor everywhere, so nice, you know. See? That's what when I come here, I only miss that thing. Because no neighbor and no friend, everybody gone somewhere else. Only me drop in Halifax and stay in Halifax 41 years.
Let's talk about your family. What did your parents do back then?
My parents, my father, he used to work at the Chinese medicine factory. That guy, he opened the factory. He imported the medicine from Hong Kong, and he opened very big factory. They sell, I don't know, the medicine. Some they sell wholesale to all around the Vietnamese, all around from Da Nang to Saigon, everywhere. And my parents worked there until the community take over. And my mother at home take care of us, and she seamstress, she do little sewing, not open the shop, but somebody bring to her, and she make a Chinese dress, you know, Chinese and top, and you know, use the Chinese people wear. My mother, excellent. He make for men, but she don't go to learn. Her mother taught her, and she don't go to school, because that time no school, nothing, you know. So she do very nice, you know. So we're not very wealthy, but just enough, you know. And my mother do little beside him. We don't have a house, we don't own, we just rent a small house and we live. We don't have own house, but most the Chinese people, they got a lot, millionaire too, but ended up. But the Chinese store medicine, the guy is the same, look like a relative too, you know. His parents from China is millionaire until the war in China run down to after all the second generation millionaire too. But after 79 gone, finished.
In your neighborhood, were they a lot of Chinese
Yeah.
families?
Yeah.
Around your house?
Next door, because usually in Vietnam, the Chinese people, they live together with Chinese neighborhood. And we don't make friends with Vietnamese, you know. Because the Vietnamese people, they very discrimination. And they always, they see you and they say something, you know. You know, when I work with, they say something, I'm scared. You know what they say? They say nothing, but now I know, grow up, I know. Because when I come here, I learn, because when we come here, and the newspaper in Canada, they say, Bo people. Bo, that means Vietnamese is a Tao. But the Vietnamese people, when the Chinese people come, they take Bo too. They say khâu tàu. That means from boat. So but if before they call tàu, oh my God, we hate it. We hate it. But now I realize tàu that means boat. Because the Chinese people escape from China to Vietnam, they take small boat too. But China, Hainan, very close to Vietnam. Only take boat for 1 day, 1 night, and come there. See? You know. So now until I come here, I know that is not a bad work. But before nobody know. They think that is bad work. So funny, yeah. Until I come here, because they write in the paper, the boat people come something. But that time I don't know. They something called boat people, and I don't know. Now I realize I lived that long. I think about and I know. Before I don't know nothing. But we always group together. We separate our Chinese way, everything. We don't get involved with Vietnamese. Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah. But we go. Huh?
Oh, sorry. Go
No,
ahead. Sorry,
you go ahead.
sorry,
You go
I
ahead.
thought you finished.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
Brother, I am the older sister. But my mother, that time my mother tried so many times, but all miscarried. Until I'm until 10 or 12 years old, my mother had my sister. And after that 2 years, had another sister. Because my mother is Chinese, she want a boy, you know. Usually Chinese people want a boy. So they try, and after the last one is the boy. That's how I have the old one and 2 young sisters and 1 young brother. Yeah, but my brother only don't live with my mother for only 13 years, 12 years old, 13 years old. Escape with me, my mother, father, let me take them over for together. I have the picture there. Before we left the camp, and they took the picture, so they can send 1 picture to Canada, to camera officer, and to take that picture, go to the airport to look at the picture and pick but we are lucky. I don't know lucky or not, I don't know. They separate, they take the airplane, the Air Force airplane, not no, and whole one, they put them in, and they go up, they show you the Canadian picture, the Canadian flag. I don't know it anyway. And they hold a lot from Hong Kong refugee, and they drop Vancouver everywhere, and Toronto everywhere they drop. So, but the first time they drop in Montreal, and they fill out the paper and they send you to where. And I am 2 family. 1 family from 4, the father and 2 older kids and 1 older daughter, 4. And myself, me and my 2 young sisters and 1 young brother to Halifax. And I only remember Mrs. Bird from immigration. But I don't speak English, but I hear people say, Mrs. Bird, Mrs. Bird. So and she picked up that 4 father and 2 sons and a big boy, you know. So she tell me, you four sit down here. I go to call the taxi and pick that guy. And she drive us home to first time drive back to Halifax Sterling Hotel. That's the hotel. Every refugee come 1979, 75, go there. That's the hotel. I still remember. Yeah, because, I remember, she drive and the mountain. I said, oh my God, I don't know where, because I don't know where Canada is. We just apply. And the nation, that time in Hong Kong nation, they have USA, Canada, Australia, England, a lot. They have the office right in the camp. And we apply, and because everybody want to go to United States, but I don't know what look like Canada, because I don't have no idea myself. Because for me, I don't think about we can go, because I don't mean to want to go overseas either for myself. Why should I go? I am so comfortable in my house, my hometown. Why I go for what? But if I wish to go to school, I don't, because my parents doesn't have that much money to send me to go overseas to study, you know. So I don't think that way. Why you wish that way for? You can't afford to do it. So go there, I don't know. And after, first of all, Canada, they said, who speak English, or who speak French, or who have relatives in in Canada, so you can apply. I don't have that thing, nothing. I mean, no, I know. And after nobody for sure, no, but everybody move, they want to USA, American. They don't want to go to Canada. And after that, I say, okay, I just want to apply because in the camp very hot. You sleep on the floor. They have army camp like that. You sleep on the floor, both sides like that, and have one row like that. And every day sit down there, and every time they give you one bowl rice and one little bit something very no task at all. You sit there, one bowl, 4 people eat that bowl rice, and that's it. Every day, morning, wake up, sit down there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Evening, after that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I said, and washroom, the moving washroom, awful. Look like you're in jail. You can't go nowhere. That time we come because Hong Kong, they close, they don't let people go out. 78, you come, they let you to stay in the hotel, everything. That my friend sent the letter. I said, oh, but when we come that time, oh, awful. So I said, okay, they don't have any, so I apply. I only 1 month and I go to Canada. Only 1 month, nothing, no problem, weird, no problem, maybe. But until I come here, I know the Canada, oh my God, so cold. And my...
So we're just gonna, I have to stop you there.
Yeah.
Before we're gonna go further, we're just gonna also hear about Hugh's story. Can you tell me about your younger days? What was your childhood like at the time?
My childhood was a normal living boy, you know. Go to school and study hard and finish school, doing the chore around the house and taking care of the garden. We plant a lot of fruit trees and the sun is beating down and need water, so I have to carry the water from the well and water every trees, every vegetable in our yard. And then after that, I was free to go to play soccer with the neighbor friends and play volleyball and all the games, you know. At the end of the day, we have a good time, and the childhood was good, memorable time, and it was it went fast. Yeah, so my childhood was really good.
So, from what I understand, where your neighborhood was it in the countryside or was it in a city where you lived?
In the countryside, I live outskirts of Da Nang city, which is like about 10 minutes from the city, just like Halifax and Clayton Park, where I live now. So it's not far from the city, but now is my house was not recognized anymore because now it's a part of the city. Because now, last time I went back, I couldn't find the bamboo path to my house, and the house now become square blocks and street names and that kind of thing. So it was totally changed. So I live in the outskirts of the city, but not far from city. So that's why I have a big land to grow trees and vegetables and all kind of varieties.
And how about your family? What did your parents do?
My father, he told me he used to be a chef in the French ship that time, and then somehow the situation changed. Later on, he became what you call a Rico, riding the big three wheels, just like taxi, but but called Rico, Rico, and for temporary time. And later on, he changed the situation. Changed. He came back home and doing like planting vegetable and farming, small farming stuff. And my mom is stay home, doing the cooking and housework and that kind of thing. But unfortunately, I lost my mother when I was 7 years old. At that time, and so just like I lost the sky. So I was so lonely and very sad. So everything I learned from my childhood was, in the hard way. So I learned to survive. I learned how to, to manage, to get by myself. But luckily, later on, about several years, I have the stepmother to fill the gap. So she was very nice. She treated me just like a mother. And we love her very much. So my stepmother is just like my natural mother. It's what lucky for me. And my brothers as well, yeah. So my stepmother is live another province in Quảng Trị, which is about a day or more to drive over there by bus. And when I went back home the first time, in somewhere in the 90s, and in 1996, that's the first time I went home and to visit her for the first time. After many years, more than 10 years living from Vietnam. So it's a long story. So when we left Vietnam, my parents didn't know at all. So it was a secret plan. Yeah. So my father and my mother didn't know what's going on.
How old were you when you left?
Oh, in that time I was after the war. If I go a little bit further, when I was young and I went to school, and then I joined the military, and in 1971, I trained in Nha Trang as officer in the military for 9 months. And 91, I graduated. They sent me to the army unit at the left lieutenant to command a troop of 15 to 20 soldiers under my supervision and control and looking after day by day to fighting in the battlefield. So in 1975, the government, South Vietnam government collapsed. So I went home and after a couple of weeks, the communist government announced that any officer from lieutenant to up to colonel to general, you have to go out and register for 10-day studies. So I had no choice, so I have to go to pack my suitcase, backpack, and go to registration. And when I registered to the camp, they call re-education camp, but it's still in the city, temporary. And just for a short a month or so, or 2 months, they put the whole people, any people in that camp from lieutenant up to colonel to general in the convoy of military trucks covered, completely enclosed, and they blindfold you to sit in the car on the truck. So around I believe around 20 people in each truck, like that, and a convoy of it. They took from city to Hiệp Đức, is in the jungle of the Vietnam. It's like in somewhere along the Ho Chi Minh City Trail or something like that, in the middle of nowhere, but nobody else, just, you know, the animals and mountains and bushes and trees, and that all is isolated from the city, from people.
Let's get back to 1971. You mentioned that you entered in the military. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So what made you decide to go there? Was it an obligation, or is it from your decision?
Yeah, in Vietnam, I went from elementary to high school, and I was born in 1954, so that age is close to the draft to go to the army. So I had to skip grade I had to skip grade 10, so to go grade 11. So in order to do that, I have to study very hard to catch up. So fortunately, I accepted into grade 11, and then I continued to grade 12, and then finished the national exam before to enter into university. The exam very hard to get in, to pass. So fortunately, I got passed, but then still my age is not qualified to go to the next level. So I had to join the army at that time at the officer, because I passed the national exam, got 2 tie, and that time either you train in Saigon City or in Nha Trang City, but the war was so intense. The training, military training school in Saigon was so full, so they they extend to Nha Trang to training for 9 months. When I get out there, lieutenant. So that's why the reason I joined the Vietnam Army is army at the age of 17. Normally is 18, but the war got so intense because they run out the resource, so they have to take younger age, one year younger. So that reason why I have to join the army at that age.
What age were you at the time?
17, 17 years old, yeah. But
And for you, Chau, so before, during that time, while Hugh was entering the army at the time, during in early 1970s, what did you do? Where were you at?
In the city. I live right in the city, and I teach in school. We met him in here. We married him here.
I didn't know her then.
We don't know because he lived outside and he is Vietnamese too, but I am Chinese, and we don't know until come here to Halifax. So we meet. I married in 1983 with him because nobody the same city with only he same city in Nova Scotia. Nobody came to the city with me Da Nang. So I look for him because he at home he happy because he have his father, and at home I have my parents too. So he have to send the letter. So I don't mess up everything. I want to do the right thing because our culture very strict. I don't want my parents have a bad name because we in Vietnam in that time we not that mess up everything. We follow the parent rule. We listen to parents, and I very plan. I go to school, I finish school, I teaching in the school. I always in that school, that community. I don't go wide everywhere. And until because the war break down, I have to go here by myself. I go around with my family, very good. That's so I don't know him. But that time, you asked me, that time I was teaching, I started teaching school in 1967, 68, that time. I finished, and I only go to grade 12, and I go back to, because that time, if I start, when the teacher and the principal, there is my principal and the teacher too, and they looking for, because I have a good mark in the school, they think, so they get me in. We don't go to, have to learn how to teaching. Even I don't know either, and the principal come to tell me, oh, I said I don't know because I'm very pain. I don't know nothing. I don't go out with my, even in family. And he said, don't worry, go to school and you learn from all the teachers there, the experience. They will teach you how. That's what I learned from them, So I don't go to education for how to teaching, but I still do very well. I do for 8 years until. If not the community not take over, I may be still in that school. So I know everybody, every children, every family around the city, and they know too. Now they have very big community in the USA. All that school, the students, they come and they get married, and they get married together, neighborhood, or everywhere go the same thing. And we'll talk about, everybody in the LA. Oh, that school very big. One primary school have 5 classes. One class is 102 students. You know how many? Oh my God, so fun. I have no problem there.
Let's get back to on April 1975. Can you tell me what happened back then? What did you do? What happened when on that day?
So, hang around at home because we can do nothing. We can go hang around the home because a lot of people when they get out, they have opportunity, they get help. But for me, my parent, he very nervous. He don't want. He said, I only have 4 kids. But my parents, they don't want to go because they say if we go, very dangerous. All the family go, something happen. If you go home, you don't have the house. You move out tonight, tomorrow somebody take over your house. You know. So they put you the camp, and after they let you come back, you have no place to live. So my parents never have plan to go with us. They only send us to go. So we hang around there. The time
your family had to stay home.
Stay home, do nothing. If you got little bit money, you sell it because you see in back home we don't have money in the bank. We have something and we have little bit gold, so we sell the gold each day and we eat. We no business because my father no job because the communist government come and take over the factory. They took them all, close everything in the house. They come suddenly and they took them all. If the owner there, they don't run fast. They let them go to the labor camp, you know. So they don't think they run. They have to hide somewhere else, you know. And that day my father, they come late to work, but they come early. They put you. Somebody come early a little bit in the morning, and they cut them out. That time they come to the house. They took the thing. All the teacher have to go to meeting. And they say, oh, which one is bad? They took all the money, but they took over them all. The people talk, not the government. The government they that, but I don't think, you know, those people work and that job, you know, they have. So, and we don't do nothing until when 75 until 1979, you know, we all home hang out and kids go looking for where we have to go, you know, go to where with night have one boat, Palama boat, something. Every day come to waterfront to look and see they have the boat to escape. That's it. Don't do nothing. Can't do. They won't allow, and they change the money twice. You have $1, they give you $10 back. Twice times change money. But you have more than $100, they not allow. You only allow. So most of the people, they have, just simple, they have 200. You only allow, your family only allow have 10 for 100. Another 100, if you don't change, they don't recognize. So you have to give you somebody don't have. But after you give to them $10, you have to give them some too, because they get the name to do it for you, right? That's it. They make you money gone and gone and gone. Very hard that time. But now it's okay. Now it's very good. I wish I stay there with. Now some people, they go back and they do it now very good. And the city beautiful now. Yeah, very nice in Da Nang. Da Nang is the best city to live in Vietnam. Yeah, very nice.
Did your family decide to... Actually, sorry, how long did your family decide to leave Da Nang?
My parents don't decide to let us know, but the last time everybody go, my neighbor, all my friends and the Chinese people, they gone. And every year, but because my brother only 12, 13 years old, if you say you don't go to school, you don't know nothing. When you go to school, you have to learn something. They don't let you learn the work more than they already get you something. They clean, you know, they watch your brain, you know. So after when my father think about it too late, we don't have no boat, everybody gone. But the time I escape, I'm not escape in Da Nang. I have to go to another city, Quy Nhơn. That time, go to Quy Nhơn. You have to take bus for 1 day from Da Nang to Quy Nhơn. They have boat. At that time, that night we go out 7 boats. My boat go at 192 people, make 2-3 level. Oh my God! When I go to the boat, I sit like that until the end. Get water in here. The people do drive the boat right here. Stand up for 9 days to get to Hong Kong. Because that time very good. weather because they choose the weather time. June 1st, 2 o'clock in the morning, we left Winner until June 10 or 11, we get there. We get to Hong Kong. We get to Hong Kong. Only me and my father, mother don't go. They stay to keep the house. If something happen, we go home. They have to bring food, everything. If we go home, can go. They put you to jail first, you know. And after for a while, if you're good, they give you back home. You have to play. If my parents go, after they give you back home where you live, where you survive, where the money to eat, right? That's what my.
Sorry, we had to slow down a little bit. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you left Da Nang from June?
No, I left Da Nang around May something, the end few days. I have to take the bus, go to Quy Nhơn, different city.
Okay.
So, but I go down the boat, start June 1st, that day, 2 o'clock in the morning, June 1st, I remember.
So
Start,
was it like June 1st,
Yeah.
1975?
79,
1979. Okay,
Yeah.
so basically you stayed a few years
yeah,
in your city.
75, 4 years, I stay in,
4 years.
after the
Right.
war breakdown, 4 years.
So it took that long for you to.
But
to
that time,
leave.
everybody gone. I am the last one go. All my relatives, all my friends, they all gone.
Why it take so long for you to leave?
Because my parents don't want us to live. He's scared because he heard so many people sing on the ocean. Even I teaching that school, they go in 1978, the whole family, the principal, whole family, gone. So she
And after
worried.
that,
Yeah.
and after that,
Yeah.
in May 1975, you and your family decide
Yeah.
to leave.
Decide to let me go. Yeah. My parents decide to let me go because and we want to go too because we find everything. My father don't want it still because he don't mean the one keep up. He don't want the danger for us, you know. He say, if you guys something, or what do I do myself with my new mom? When we left, they cried, you know. Oh, my mother cried and my aunt, when the car pulled up for the boat, my mom, my aunt, because we have lived different city, my mother can go. She only take us to the bus station and she go home. And me and my sister brother alone go to Quy Nhơn. I have my mother, younger sister, live there. So she take care of us to bring us to go down the boat. Oh my God, I remember my mom, she hold the car and she cry and you know. But that time we don't think that because we always scared something. We have to handle how to get the boat, you know. So we don't know. But now until we think about still in here, you think about she hold the car and she cry, you know, make me something, you know. But that time you just wonder how to do it, to get out of the community, you know. When before you get out in the boat there and the community have the head there, they ask you have any money or paper, put in there and you get on the boat. You don't allow to bring nothing, don't bring nothing. And some people wearing slippers, naked, go to the boat too heavy, throw them out right away. Can't go too, because I sit here, I can touch the water, ocean, But that time don't scare, I don't know why. Only thinking about how to get out, but don't know go where either. Just get in the boat, sit there, whatever. Don't know. Yeah, don't know. But no idea.
When you left Vietnam, you went with your brother and sister. So in total, you were 3 people?
Four. Me,
4 people.
2 young sisters, 1 young brother. 4.
And so you left together on boat to Hong Kong. Is that correct?
Yeah, Hong Kong.
Okay. So let's get into to Hugh. Can you tell me? I know that you mentioned that during that period you were in the military at such a young age. Can you tell me the moment when the fall of Saigon happened?
When the fall of Saigon, I went home from the military. In mixed emotion, because I'm not in fighting anymore. I feel a little bit better that I don't have to get up in the morning and worry about whether I was going to get shot or get killed, or my subordinates get hurt, or either I'm going to kill somebody. So in the sense of relief, so the war has ended. But still mixed emotion, worrying, because I didn't know how the other side going to treat the rest of the government army. So I just follow what happened at that time. They ask you to just like surrender. In other term. So me and my brother Han, he's an older brother, but he's in the same range with me. He's a lieutenant in the paratrooper. So we both packing and say goodbye to my parents, and we went to register in Hoa Cam, where the center used to be training for the Vietnamese army, but now the communist control, they use that center to facilitate the whole gathering there, so they can round it off and send to re-education camp in jungle. So I was one of them. So they built several camps separately in the jungle. So when we arrived there, they applied for us. And at the gunpoint, we get into the camp and settle down, and luckily me and my brother is still sleeping in the same bed. At daytime, we get out to cut down trees and burn trees down, and to plant vegetable like sweet potatoes, or the other type of củ sang, the other type of potato, some kind. And then every day like that, from rows to rows, from hills to hills. And at the end of the day, we came back to the camp, and we having supper at night time. The supper is a big, humongous wok. It's giant, about the size of your car, and full of rice and dry potatoes mixed together, and they covered, when they cooking, they covered with the cloth on the top, and when it's cooked, they scoop it out by shovel and put in the in little container, and then you go in there and eat with the potato leaves with water and with the HMG stuff for flavor, so you can wash it down easily. And nothing new every day like that. So at night time they rounded up in the sit around the circle and they talk about the communists and try to brainwash us. But we never get any result. Just to occupy the time. And then after 2 years like that, and they started letting people go home, because in the city they got well under control. So I was one of them to relieve to go home. But then under surveillance by the police, local police, and you can't do anything, just sitting at home and try to not to get in trouble of any kind, because each month like that they take you to the meeting where the people gathering. And if you do any, you make any mistake or anything, they will bring it up and criticize you. So I had no choice but to obey the law, and I couldn't find a job or any kind to survive. So we ended running out of food. So I had to figure out what to do next. So I heard that the group of people out there, you can make money. So I started to join them. Far away from home, up to the outskirts of city, where the mountain along the side. And what they did there is breaking rocks by hand from the mountain, and then chisel it out and with a hammer, sledgehammer, with no protective equipment, no gloves on, just bare hand, from rock to gravel to into pieces, and the sun is beating down on you, and at the end of the day, you become, you feel like your body falling apart. It was the worst life I ever had. So I did that for few months. I couldn't cope anymore. So I went home. And luckily, I had several friends. They dropped out of school before in early age. Like they didn't continue finish high school, so they started uh, at the bricklayers, and they doing very well during that time because everything's restart to rebuild from school, hospital, malls, everything because after the war everything collapsed, so it's needed to rebuild. So I follow them. I start from the the helper and mixing the cement, gravels and everything for them, and to build the buildings and houses. And then luckily they are so friendly, and they let me learn by step when they taking a break. They said, "Hugh, go in there, practice yourself." And I was so thrilled that they let me do that. So step by step, month by month, year by year, and then I progressed into almost the same level with them. By that time, they took me in, we created a group. We start doing sub contract and bidding the price and calculate volume and price each unit and that kind of thing. And I was good at that. So they let me handle all the bidding price and contract, and we go place to place, and life was suddenly turned around. I was able to make money and enjoy life that time. So I become very good at it, so I can build a house from start to finish. So we stick together from start to finish, and we finish one project to another, and we keep going on. Everywhere we go, and people are very welcome because they need a project, and people are happy, welcome us with both hands and feeding us, and at night time we go to the movie and hang around with the neighborhood or whatever. So life was turned around for me at that time. After 2 years, it was brutally broken down from the life decent life to a bottom life, like the Stone Age life. So in 1979, I got my brother had a friend who was my older brother, Dao. He was in the Air Force, military Air Force. He has a friend working the same thing with him, and his wife have a boat, fishing boat. So they connected together and make a plan, and then we plan to escape. So the plan was every day we pretend a woodcutter. So we hire the electric canoe takes us from the shore to the islands. And when every day we go down to that island, we cut wood and bring back to pretending to sell to the village. So each time we go out on the island, we bring several gallons of gas for the boat, diesel and gas, and we hide over the rock in the island. So we're doing that every month, so almost 2 months, and we fill up enough containers to get up for the boat to travel from Da Nang to Hong Kong. That's the plan. So one night the boat came in at the middle of the night, around now between 12 and 1 o'clock. We signal from the signal and the signal back the same, and we gathering and carrying all the gasoline throw on the boat, and we took off from there. And until the sunrise, we were out of the shore, and then suddenly we saw the police boat chasing after us, and at the time we saw the side of the cup of coffee of the police boat, but after a while it's getting bigger. That means, it become a ball bigger, twice bigger, 10 times bigger, and it started getting close to us. So we put all the speed we can, so we can get away. Because if we got caught, they're going to bring back to shore. Either we're going to jail or executed that time. Because they try to scare the people, whoever, escaped, so they don't do it like we did. So we will pray, and we put all the speed we can, and then half hour, 20 minutes after, and the boat, the police boat becomes smaller, and that way we got away. And about an hour we don't see the police boat anymore. My God, it was a scary moment. And then that time we saw a group of whales just jumping in our water, follow the boat. It's just like farewell. It's fantastic. It couldn't be better than that. So we were on the boat for 3-4 days, and we arrived in Macau. But then Macau didn't take refugees, so they kicked us out in the ocean. So that time the typhoon came, and we became all wet and suffer, and because the food, we ran out of food and water and cold, and suddenly the container ship spotted us, and then dropped some food in lunch box size, and they told us to Hong Kong. They showed us the way to get to Hong Kong, and from that time we gave the boat to Hong Kong demolished, and we went into the camp that time. And the camp was that time we on the land. Yeah.
Sorry, what was the name of the camp?
Called Cửu Long. It's another city of Hong Kong, Cửu Long. So it's by the water. So we sleep in the camps just like sardines, row by row and side by side, and after a couple of months we move in actual, came in with the hut, like houses, like that, and I started to get out to find some work in Hong Kong and to make a temporary living for that time. And only one person, my brother and I, so 4 of us, one stay at home and 3 got out to work and make some money at that time for 6 months.
Okay. We're just gonna stop right there. I just want to know, do you recall the day that you left Da Nang?
In July 1979. I don't know exactly, July 12 or July 15 is the date is hard to know exactly.
And you also, and what about in Hong Kong? Do you remember the month?
The month is in December. We left Hong Kong in December. From Hong Kong to Edmonton for health check up there for 1 week, and then we flew from Hong Kong from Edmonton to Halifax because we have a group sponsor people in Halifax.
In Bridgewater.
In Bridgewater, but they came to Halifax to greet us from there. So it was one extreme to another extreme. Hong Kong that time was 33 degrees Celsius, and Edmonton was around 30 something Celsius, minus 30. So it was quite a shock to come from hot to cold.
Sorry, how many days for you it takes for you to get from Macau to Hong Kong? And when did you arrive there?
Just within a day, more than a day, yeah.
So I'm just going to get to switch to Chau. So when you're get on a boat with your brothers and sister to head to Hong Kong, when did you arrive there? Can you tell me your journey in Hong Kong?
We arrived in Hong Kong and we live in the camp. Because the camp they look like a tunnel, half tunnel like that, and you look like a setting like that. So the whole thing. But that time, my camp they won't allow people to go out. Only that camp, I don't know why, we don't know. But first time, we almost see Hong Kong, but take so many days to see, and after go there, the boat halfway to almost Hong Kong, and the water going broke. So, the Hong Kong fishermen, they have a boat. So my boat people tell, okay, can you? But they said you have to give some gold. Who have the gold? So in the boat, people say, who bring gold? Some people may bring something, right? But for my father and my mother, don't give anything. You harm them. So we don't bring nothing. We don't have anything myself. My father said, no, ever give the money because very dangerous. So some people have the money, but they said, but you went to arrived to Hong Kong, you don't tell the police, we took the gold to bring you guys here. Don't say anything. So the fishermen pull up boat. When we go back there, look like a dog, something they have in the, we get in the dog first. And the Hong Kong police, they dump the boat right away, sink down the bottom right away. And we're in the dark, but that time it's raining. We haven't get inside the camp yet. You know, raining, everything so cold. And one boat, I don't know, that private boat, something big boat, it look like in Halifax, some boat. And they see us, the woman and my work, yeah, they let you go with the boat, so it's raining, everything wet, you know, before everywhere. So you know what? When they put you in, they don't put you in, stay in the top. They have you go down there, and they have the whole day, and you go down there. They put some oils and they close the cover. Oh my God! And too deep, and they're like, oh my God, we can't breathe. And one of the women, she's drunk, she go up the foot, and we come up, and we jump out the dock again. We don't stay because can't breathe, very hot. And underneath like that, you know, because the boat underneath, down the deep the water, they shaking very much, look like something. Oh, and me and my brother, everything jump out right away, stand better wet than you can breathe, right? Almost die. So after that, they start to let you go in the camp. Look like a tunnel like that, round one, open in here and open in there very fast and slip. And you know, before you go in the camp, the Hong Kong police, oh my God, it's awful. They put one big bowl of water right in front of the entrance of the camp. And they have one would look like people sell, Vietnamese sell fur, the big scoop like that, big like your head like that. And they stand there. Everybody, before you walk in, you have to put your head in the water because they say something in the hair, something, what they call, the small thing in the hair. You see, you have some lice. They scare you have lice, you know. You have to dump the water. If you don't dump, they knock you. Everybody have to put your head in the water there. Oh my God! And go there. They have one table like that in the middle, and both sides they have two big buckets, very big. Everything, if you have, put them all. Don't have anything, nothing. Go inside empty. Don't bring anything. Everything, nothing. Just go there, and they give each one. The seat they look like a rice seat. They make it. Everyone, one, 4 people go. Just enough for you lie down like that. Another side, and one row walk there for deep far, like that. That's it. And sit there and eat every day and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sit there morning and night, every day like that. And you don't have water, very hot that time in Hong Kong because June and July very hot. You have to wait until midnight. They open the water for the camp for people to have shower. But daytime, no water because they need the water for the Hong Kong people, you know, because Hong Kong very something, right? So you have to wait 2 o'clock they open and you lie up to have a shower. You cannot, and daytime just sit there and talking, you know, nothing. Just sit there, sit outside, sit everywhere, walk and talk. You sit until your bum have very thick. Every day sit on the concrete, you know, and sleep on the wall. No pillow and nothing. Just sit there. How can you stay like that, you know? And I think myself, I want to go as far I can, as soon as I can. Because my brother and sister are young too. We have to catch up to go to school, you know. If you stay longer, it wastes the time. I don't do nothing, sit there, you know, and no good either, right? And very dirty too, right? And don't have any food to eat, just a bowl of rice like that. That's it, and little bit vegetable, and I don't know why they don't put sauce there. That look like water like that. How can you eat? Rice is nothing. But usually we eat rice, we have little fish or something, you know, so or fish sauce, right? Even they give you fish sauce, it's okay. It's nothing. We usually in Vietnam we eat fish sauce. Anyhow, you know, but they don't give you. Never give you fish or meat. No fish, no meat, nothing. And bean sprout, just put in the water like that to eat. How you eat bean sprout like that? Yeah, that's it. So I think, okay, if I have a opportunity, I get out as soon as I can. I don't want to stay in the camp. People, they want to wait for go to American somewhere. But when they come here, all my relatives in States, they say, why don't sit there, you wait for I sponsor you to come. I say, I don't know because I don't like the camp. Because I don't use that, you know, every day. I'm not used for that. Before I get out of Vietnam, I don't use that. Every day I can't stand it. Get me headache. I don't feel right, you know. Even I'm Chinese, the Hong Kong police, they ask you who can speak Canadian, come out and help them. I say, oh, I don't want to get involved that, you know. You can't do like that. Some you good for the refugee, the people, you people. The people hate you, they kick you, but some you don't good. The police Hong Kong police very, very bad. They not have the refugee because then the nation, all around the nation, tell them to have that, to rescue the people, you know. They don't do nothing. They pay, the nation, all around the nation, pay for Hong Kong to do that. You know, Hong Kong doesn't have anything, you know. But
do you remember how many people in the camp? Do you recall?
Oh my God! Only my boat 192, and the rest come from some. That time, you know why? Because in Hong Kong, close to Vietnamese, the north, and all the north from Hai Phong, everywhere they come a lot there too. Different boat. One family, 4, 5, I don't know, very long way the tunnel like that. And luckily we're the last ones, we outside close to the door, you know, close the entrance. And go in, say, I never go there, I'm scared. I don't know. I only stand where they tell me to stand, I stand. I don't want to carry around and go some, I don't talk.
It seems like around for a few 100,000.
Yeah, a lot. Ooh.
Very crowded.
Very crowded. And the washroom look like in here when people do in the street, and they carry that one, and in the morning the people come to take. Oh my God! And you know what? They take that one, but they go to put in the they plan all the something. They take that, they put in, you know. Oh my God! I tell you one time when we already applied for Canadian, that's the one the joke, you know. And they tell you have to check, you have to put in the bottle, right? And me and my sister, I am scared, dirty. And I tell my brother, you go inside, you kick all me and my two sisters, the bottle, go and you put in there. We don't go, because I can't stand it. My brother, he's young, he's small, you know. And when I see those things, and I just can't stand it. So my brother, he pooped, not because we don't want to do it. But we are healthy. We don't. If we have something after that, they take you to go medical check too. They draw the card, bring you to outside the city, Hong Kong, the office. But the office, I remember only the steps more than that. They walk up are too many, and we have to sit down. And a lot of people work. And the Hong Kong people, you know what? The couple, they know like that. They think we are so dirty. They feel dirty, stinky. They couple, they know, and they walk like that. I remember, I said, oh my God, what they think we are, because the war break, we ended up like that, we're not like that. Yeah.
How long did you stay in the camp?
Only 1 month.
For 1 month?
Yeah.
What
July.
happened after a month?
I flew in Canada. I arrived on June the 10th. So around 27, 29, I already start. I have the picture. I write down in the back. Today I just take out and I see, I write down July 29. That time they take the picture for me. 4 people stay in the camp outside, and they took that picture to send in Canada for the Mrs. Bird in Highland. I remember when I get off the step from the airplane, get off the step, go down inside. She left the picture there and she tell me to sit there. I remember she really was shopping, she wearing I think when she cut her hair. I remember that, but I don't, after that, because I don't speak English, I don't know how to contact with them. And she drive me to Sterling Hotel, and she make up the phone and everything, and she give the ticket, go to infirmary to eat, and go to school, and that's it. I don't see her second time, and I don't know how to ask her. I know English, nothing. I don't have 1 cent. They set up everything. They tell me to sign. Even I don't know what's going on in the paper either.
So during that month, while you're in camp in Hong Kong, did you have to wait for a sponsor to contact you, or you have to get in contact with them?
I don't know who else sponsor either. I don't have no sponsor. Because everybody go, all my relatives, all my friends, they go different boat. They go the time, I don't know. Because that time, every have to quiet, secret. I don't know myself. You cannot tell somebody else. I don't have any until 1990. They opened first time, 11 years after. My father, mother tell me to go home. I have to go home. That time I have 2 sons already. One only 1990. That time my younger one only 3 years old. He have to take care for 2, 1 5, 1 3. I go home by myself. That time it's very difficult. But my mother always tell me, because after 11 years, so they miss very much, because we usually together, all together, and after, But so I go home first time by myself. That time I have to go with the group, agent group. They make up the paper, everything, and go with them. They have one guy to go with them, show you how to go, where you live either, And go home, my mother. Huh?
So how did you learn about coming to Canada? Can you tell me about that?
I don't know. I don't learn anything. I just apply, and as soon as which one take me, but I know if I go to America, I have to wait a little bit longer, because a lot of people wait for you. No one want to go to Canada. Nobody. And I don't know. I want to get out as soon as I can get out of the third country. I have no idea, USA or Canada or somewhere. I have no idea. Which country take me, I go. That's my point. I don't know. Because I don't do research, and nobody tell me. I don't have anybody tell me which one is good, which one is bad. But ended up here, I find here's better for myself.
So you know through people with the word of mouth by talking.
No, I don't know. I don't know, but most of my relatives, they want to go because they involved with the army. They know they like to go USA. Some of my relatives. But in the Vietnam War, I have 2, one my cousin and one my uncle died in the Vietnam War, because we are not supposed to go, but until they need to, maybe before Chinese people, they don't Vietnamese, they don't take, they're not allowed to take, because we all Chinese, right? But ended up after, they don't care whatever. Before, if you mother only have 1 son, you are allowed to stay home. You don't need to join the army. Even my uncle, only 1 son. After that, he still had to go. Then he had to go to refugee camp, and after he doing well, and they let him go, and he escaped. Now he in USA. Yeah. But we don't know what life. For me, I don't know about. I'm very plain, because I find my life, I don't have any problem, so I don't think anything better,
When you are in Hong Kong camp, and people are not very well informed whether you have a choice to go this country or other country.
Yeah.
You're not totally blinded. And beside that, you are desperately, to get out, want to get out, whatever country, take you, decided to sponsor you, and you go.
If you want to decide to go USA, you have to wait. But the people have the first opportunity, that people have to something related with the army, because USA, American, when 1965, they go to Vietnam, they have everything in Vietnam. So a lot of my friends, after they finish school, high school, they work in the American. But for my parents don't want me to go to work for the American. They very something, they don't want to get involved, because they see they too open, and the American go around, and they hit the bum, they hit the kid, they sit and they see the girl walk, and they hit you bum like that. My mother never like that way, because the old day people, they were not very open that way, So
in our case, we had a choice to choose,
but I don't choose anything. Whatever I apply and they go as soon and I get out of the camp because we stay in that camp look like we stay in the jail. You know, the jail, but the jail put you to the hard job either. But Canadian jail don't put you to hard job either. They got everything too. But in Hong Kong, you sleep on the floor and you eat look like no meat, nothing. In here, the jail, once in a while you have one stick of hamburger. You know, in here, no fish, nothing.
So in my wife's case, lately the government decided,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Government,
But I'm lucky, government, the Canadian government it sponsor me. I'm not private. They sponsor, they do write the same whatever the paper. They make up the paper. They send you to start English 6 months, and first time you look for the house, they send you to the house, and they pay for 1 month rent, and they buy how many people? They buy 4 people, buy 4 bowl, 1 table, 4 chairs, everything for 4 like that, you know. And first time when we come that time, and we don't have anything, they try to buy you every 1 shoe and 2 socks, and you know, that's small thing like that, that's it. But for the private people, sponsor is different because so many people and at the house, forever they have the house, the spare one, and they bring to you, you know. Some not new, but they have some for you. But for me, they buy a whole set of nice, I still use it, everything new. Bring me to the yellow to buy socks, buy underwear, something like that. And that's it, finish, you do your own. But that time, I don't know, I want to contact. Now I think too bad, how come I don't contact with Mrs. Bird? I don't, but I don't see where she lives now. So, but that time, but she lives now in Halifax, cross street of the apartment of the Halifax, Mumford Road. I know a little bit, but too long, 41 years, I don't know where. Maybe that time she's old too, maybe.
In comparison, is between private sponsorship and the government sponsorship. In my case, it's a private group sponsor
But he
us.
sponsor very good.
So I find it's more caring, more follow up, and you are well informed and follow up every day and nurturing you step by step, and make sure you all right, educate, and make sure you follow your dreams. And it's more details than sponsorship by government. Government, when they finish the term and you are on your own. Yeah. In my case, in the group sponsorship, it's like a family. Each one take a turn, to do their duty. To guide you to go through step by step. I'm glad that I was sponsored by a group of people like doctor, 2 doctors, teacher, minister in the church, and pharmacist, and a lot of teachers. Yeah. So I was in a good hand, and I'm glad that I went to Bridgewater, another town of Halifax in the South Shore. So I was able to go to school and build my dream that time. Otherwise, if I landed in the city, I could be a taxi driver or anything to make a quick buck.
So you mentioned about in your days in Hong Kong. So you mentioned about that you had to find work. Can you tell me a little bit about that real quick?
Yes, when we are in the camp and the government knowing that we can some people in the camp they just they got out of the camp illegally, because you do nothing inside the camp every day, and tons of people, just more trouble than not doing anything. So few of us, got out by through the fence, and we got out there, and because the other people found work out there, and they came back, they came and let us know that we go there and they will accept. So we went there, and the textile company, the owner, the boss, the lady there accepted us and welcomed us to work in a group. So I started learning to print pattern on the clothes. Like each one, we go into the pattern circle, and we went around the table, and each one has the screen and different color, and one lay on the fabric and swept it the color, and either the monkey, the lion, the butterfly, or whatever pattern, flowers, all kinds, the clothes that you're wearing. So I did that for about 3-4 months until we got accepted to Canada. So I had to leave the place. So I was able to make some extra money to buy watches and the food and anything you need that time. Yeah. So luckily, my brother, my older brother, 4 of us, he's the oldest. He spoke English at that time because he got trained in Air Force in the U.S. for
Before 1975.
before when he was in Vietnam. Yeah. So he know English already. So he joined in the government immigrant in the camp at that time to help to select refugees go to which country at that time. So he knew the U.S. already. So he worked for the Canadian government that time. So through them he knows about Canada some a bit. So that's why he decided that we get together and we go to Canada. But through that time he knew that through a private sponsor too. So because he was working for the Canada immigrant at that time. So we flew from Hong Kong to Edmonton for a week to get health check, and then we flew to Bridgewater, to Halifax. What was surprisingly that time, a group of the people, they're like Dr. Morse, Janice Anderson, the minister now, and some other people.
In the group,
Yeah, in group about 4 or 5 people, about 5 or 6 people welcome us at the airport. But we didn't know them and they didn't know us. So they put a sign, they hold us at the airport when we got off the airplane, the name of us, 4 of us on the board. And we saw that, we knew it right away, that where we go with those people. and we were happy and excited and thrilled about it. But like for me, that time without a plan, we didn't know about much. I didn't know about much about Canada. But I thought that I came into the place with no people, just like remote area or something. Because I never seen snow before, and our snow was white. So anything I see white, that means it relates to my mind that the sand in my country. So nothing but sand. So that how can you live in the sand just like desert? But as soon as I got off the airport, we drove from Halifax to Bridgewater more than an hour drive, and first time we sleep in the Canadian home. Is the other doctor brother. So in my private sponsor had three doctors. So one of them took us stay at his house. He and his wife and a little daughter Amy. And we stayed there for a month or so until we found the apartment. So it was.
What was it like, your relationship with your sponsor?
Very good.
Relationship very good, very friendly, and they were excited to show us how the Canadian living way, and we so excited to learn. So it's kind exciting moment for all of us. Yeah. So and especially in Christmas time too. So each one take us to this party, this church, this gathering, and that socializing. But the sad part that we didn't like for me, I wasn't able to communicate. But my brother do all the talking. So my oldest brother did all the talking at that time. So step by step, we get used to with the lifestyle. And the hardest part for me is to quit smoking. Because I was a heavily smoker at that time when I was in Vietnam. Everywhere we go, we greet each other with cigarette, that's a habit. So, but luckily I stay in a doctor family. He didn't smoke, and he hates smoke. So that forced me to bite the bullet to quit. Yeah, no complaint, no nothing. Yeah, so cold turkey to quit the smoke. That's a good thing part for me. I remember the most. And secondly, from there, they started to help us which school you want to go, what career you want to take. Yeah, and one of the
Vocational teacher.
the instructor in the college, throw a pair of pliers on the table to me. Say, Hugh, can you draw this? Yeah, within a few seconds, I sketched up like exactly the pair of pliers, and he said, "This is fantastic. You can go to the computer edit drafting course." But you have to take a test before you enter. So I did the test and I passed, and that's why I started to go to community college. And the trouble, I have a tough time to cope with the questionnaire and the the writing and the political science, whatever, the essay and that kind of stuff. I did my best, but managed to get by. But the technical course is super. I did excellent, the math and everything. So at the beginning of the school, I was falling behind the class because I have to learn how to cope with the stress and learn how to better with the language. So after schooling, and when I finished school, I graduated as honors student. I was surprised at that time, and I was able to find a job afterward. So during school year, it was very difficult. Although I got sponsored by sponsor group, but I wanted to work part time and study at the same time. So during school that day and the night time, I work a few hours at the factory shop in the Bridgewater to get extra money for living. So I managed to get by and did very well at the end of school year. I love the Bridgewater, the community. Everywhere you go, there people are very friendly, smiling, helping you, and not discriminating at all, and welcome you in the community everywhere you go. So I was happy to land it in the good place. After I finished school, I found work in Halifax at some engineering firm specialized in food processing, like fish plant and I did layout of machine connection and setup and that kind of thing for a couple of years. And during that time, I met my wife, and we started getting serious to get married and have a family. Yeah. So that time I was stable and able to support myself then. So I moved from Bridgewater to Halifax and work but then things during that time the unemployment sometime was getting very high, so I decided to go back to school. So I went to Dalhousie University in town, taking engineering. And during that time, in the summertime, I found a summer job with the power company, Nova Scotia Power, supply our electrical grid through Nova Scotia, the province of Nova Scotia. So I found a summer job there, and then I enjoy it. And beside that, I have a child, first child during that year. My wife needed some help, so I decided if any opening permanently, I stay there. So luckily somebody retired, and and I applied for the job, and I got accepted. So I worked for almost 30 years with the
85 you start work?
yeah
1985.
yeah. So 1985 I worked until
2013.
2012, at the end of 2012. So 29 years with the company, in the design group, engineering design group. And 2012 I retired. I retired from the company because of the age and plus years of service to 85. So qualify for retirement.
Sorry, what year that you retired?
What year?
2012.
Yes, what year? 2012.
2000, yeah. And I retired for few
3
years, and then I got hired again from for another company, engineering company, the designer consultant. So I have been working for 3 years and still now. Yeah.
What are the difficulties that you find in your first year coming to Canada? What is the most hardest part?
Hardest part is to cope with English, but gradually, getting better. That's a good thing, because you live in the English community. You learn by talking. You learn by writing. Whatever you communicate with. But my sponsor group is a very nice. Was a very nice offer to me to teach me English in the evening. So after I go to school now, after I working on the weekend part-time job, at night time me and my other two brothers walking up to at night time through snow, about 10-15 minutes from where I live, to their place. Each one, about 3 or 4 of them offer teaching English me in the evening. So each night we walk through the snow and to their house and learn ABC and put words together. And every night, each week is different houses. So we got a variety of experience. So the good thing is that we work so hard, right? Do 3 things at night, a day. Go to school day, working part-time at night after school, and go to study English at night at the sponsor houses. And in no time, my English was getting way better and able to handle with school workload and that kind of things. Things speeding up, and so happy I'm there. So, but the sad part is you miss your friend. You need to interact with the people and for the first year. But second year, you start talking more and more and more, and the homesickness fading away in the past. Yeah. So the good thing, everything is come together and blossom, and you can stay on your own feet from then. Yeah. So life's good afterward. After all, yeah.
Now it's
So
excellent.
now, when you arrived in Canada for the first time, do you also experience any difficulties in your first year?
Oh, very difficult. Oh, you don't know.
Can you tell me about it?
I don't speak English, and I'm live after I moved to the apartment, and I'm scared of dark. We rent the apartment only big bedroom for people agree together because usually we should rent the bedroom, but I don't want because I'm scared by myself. and I'm worried if my sister, if they get sick something, what I do? I don't know how to call who because the government sponsor that time you don't know their name, you don't have their phone either. You call who, nobody around, and you don't know how to take the bus and scared, don't know where to take the bus. Oh, too many things because I can't speak, and I can what they people talk. I don't know what they talk either. That the part I have very hard. And after that, they send you to go to a second language for 6 months. And after the government, they find a job for you. After 1 o'clock, finish school, they find a job to take the whole group, go in to the hotel to have a job to clean the room, chambermaid. Clean the room, and you don't speak English, so they group 2 people, 2 refugee Vietnamese, work for 1 room together. But something you don't know what they're talking about. Even you change the seat or the feel okay, you don't know the name. You have to read. Oh, that's the part I find very hard. Yeah. Why you don't move? Eh? Freezing. You freezing. Huh? So I find that the bad part, and we have to work for. But after December, and they got no job. Winter time, the hotel don't have job. So after I don't like that because they give you 16 room a day, only half hour to clean the room, do all the whole thing, change the bed, double bed, and clean the toilet. Oh my God, so many things. But you don't know something, and sometime in the morning you open the door and people lie in the bed and they don't wear clothes, scare you. Oh. So I quit. I can't stand it because I never see that happen. But I don't have my mind that thing either. Never don't know. So I quit, and then when I have to find a job to they have opened the factory but that factory is a government subsidized, so every refugee apply. First time I apply, I don't know. They tell the I have to walk. I don't know how to take bus. I have to walk by myself to bring the applicant to apply. And anyway, they take me and I work until I get married. I have baby. I stop, and after I have married, I have first baby, and I don't want to get back that job again because I have my skill solving in back home too. I teach teacher, but before I learned to make clothes, I know to make. I don't open, but I know how to make clothes by myself. So after I had a baby only 10 months, and I find a place to open my tailor shop by myself. 1985, I had my kid. 1984 and 85, only 1 year, I opened my tailor shop, and I do until 2017. I retire. I do straight 30 years. Now I retire. I finish. I don't do anything yet. Yeah, that's it. So. The first time I find hard, but I learned. Huh?
Sorry, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's it. The first time I find the English is very hard to me. So when I open my shop, the customer come. I know the job, but they ask me some customer how you do. I know how to do, but I know how to explain to you. So I find. Every time people walk in, I sweaty because I don't know what to tell her. There's so many Canadian people, some, not many, but they discriminate you. They yell at you, They give a hard time for you. I know that, That's when I open the shop, I start to learn by the people talking, and because when you talk, I look at her, and I think 90% I guess it. I look at the way I do and they talk, so I guess, I don't understand much English myself either because I don't have any English background until I come here. I find that hard. Still now I find that sometimes I want to say something exactly my mean, but very hard to differ because I don't remember much, So I find the language is very hard for me. That's it. I can handle everything by myself. I come here by myself with my two young sisters and young brother. Before I get married, I was 79 until 1983. I married him. How many by myself? My sister young, they go to school grade 4, grade 6. They're very young. Myself and I go to work. The government ended up have to give housing for me. 3-bedroom, nice housing. 3-bedroom. But that time I only work for $2.75 for an hour. But my two young children go to school. So I only don't pay much for the housing. Right? And I go to work, and I have to walk every day. And go up the hill. One day I go up the hill, very high hill. And I don't know it's cold. And I walk half hill, I can't walk. I have to walk every morning. Up the hill, go, and maybe I run half an hour to work because they got no bus. The bus somewhere I don't know either. I walk, work, and walk. Sometimes I don't snow so high, I don't know. And I have wood too. I don't know. I just do whatever. And I see one guy, Canadian guy. I tell him, come here, he take me to work, and I go in the store, the factory, I tell people love me. I don't really sell exactly, but they understand, right? But the people work at factory, that factory did, making the jacket, winter jacket and summer jacket, but I have put zipper, everything open pocket, because I learned before in back home, I already learned, but my mother said, you want to wear new clothes, you have to go to learn, make your own clothes. So I want to wear clothes for myself. I always want to wear nice clothes. So I learned to make my own clothes. That's how I have the skill already, see? So I come here, I use my skill to build my life in here, 30 years. That's it. But I find language.
So we have less than, we have less than 10 minutes before we end. So
Okay.
I have a couple questions to ask for both of you. After 40 years living here in Canada, how do you feel about your life that you made here?
Feel the life live in here, you mean? Live in Canada, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very good. We feel comfortable.
How do you feel about your life in here? You feel comfortable and
Yeah, we feel very comfortable. The
is
only,
it still difficult right now?
no difficult right now. No difficult right now, very comfortable, but very relaxing. But the only thing I don't like is winter. I don't like weather. The cold weather, winter time, snow, I don't like it still. But I feel very comfortable. Nothing, very nice. Usually in Halifax too. That's why a lot of people come the same time, but they move them all. Nobody, nothing. Only I am stay where I live until now. Right in Halifax, and I live in Halifax until now.
I find Canada is a great country.
Yeah.
I find that fortunately we arrived here and make a life and build a living here, and luckily it was welcome by the people in this area, and we feel it like at home, and we're able to live happily and comfortably. For me, in order to compare it more correctly, you have to step back and look in far away in focus. Fortunately, we were able to travel to Europe, like Sweden, Denmark, Norway, France, in Europe, and everywhere we go there, we went there, and people are not as friendly or as open as like Canada, because when we get back here, and we find it very relaxed and more at home because people around us are very nice and friendly and talking and sharing. Even my neighbor, even my co-workers, every of them, enjoy to be a company and helping each other and share with the social life, the food, or the experience, whatever, and I feel happy and fortunately, to live in the country such a variety of races, variety of people in all over the world. We're able to enjoy the variety of food and just like a bouquet of flowers, each one has their own, uniqueness. Each one has a scent of aroma. So if the bouquet full of flowers, blossom, and all smell very good, aroma was perfect, was beautiful. That's how I look at. So I'm grateful to live in Canada and grateful to meet all the people with open hands and I appreciate it. I feel I own them. Yep.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. Go ahead. I'm done. Yeah, I'm finished.
Yes. Do you discuss your experience with your children? Your personal experience. What happened during the war at the time?
It's one of my weakness that when we have children, I was, focused on how to raise them, make sure they have a good career. But I lost on the how well they got to know about their root, their tradition. So they ask some question, but not a lot. From time to time they come across something, they ask question. But like we were too much spending time to help them with school work and guided them through school and finish school and get a good education, that kind of thing. But I regret that I lose the side of talking about the country where we come from. Yeah, the culture. Yeah. But anyway, they survive. They have good life now, and they are successful and both finished universities and they got well educated and they got good job. Now they're on their own. They will learn sometime. They come across something. They will learn their own way. Yeah. That's the way. That's my thinking.
What can future Canadian What can a future generation of Canadians can learn about from your personal experience?
For me, what I went through in my life, each part of my life is different. So if I put together, if the life is not on your favor, on your way, somehow the life of your life turn out become upside down from one way to another, to the bottom of the barrel. Just be patient, be perseverant, and you will get better from there. Anything from bottom, just be perseverant, establish yourself from there. Start to build your life up. For example, if my life was good, and then suddenly the war came, and I become a Stone Age man, breaking the rocks by hand and selling by cubic meter. That doesn't deter me. So I was able to turn my life around from the bottom of barrel at that time. So if you are in that situation, just work your way through, and your life will get better. Don't be break down and suicide or whatever, make things worse, or suffer from it. Just bit by bit and re-establish yourself and build up your life from then, and your life will better. If you're on the bottom, the only one direction to go is up. So that's the hope for you. The second part of my life I went through, I see in perspective, life is so short. It makes you go through the cycle of different direction each way. Even the worst thing is a good thing for you too. You're able to learn so many skills, so many way of life from that. Like I learned perseverance, I learned survival, I learned I was able to make myself alive to go through such a harsh period of time. So no what way you go, life will change. So don't be suffer or be mental health issue, and don't be crazy about it. Life will improve. Yeah. Even in the COVID pandemic case here, it's the worst. When the worst get over, it will get better. And the third thing is I would like to share is be kind, be helpful, be gentle with each other, treat other people nice, and people will treat you nice again. So in retrospective, you show what you get. That my belief. If I treat people nice, and I will meet with the nice people, and we all happily live together. That's through my experience. Yeah. Don't like the fourth thing. I am not an angry person anymore. Even like years ago, my coworker called me a turkey. I didn't get used to. I was kind of upset about him, because they call me turkey is a bad thing. But nowadays, everything I just not take serious. I just brush it away and smile. even I encounter of racist issue or something. Sometimes I speak gently and sarcastic way and brush it off. Don't get too serious to yourself, and you get you be hurt your feeling. But try to be nice to people and help people. Like myself, I'm retired, and the company still want me to give back. So most people retired, they go away in the background. But for me, they still want me to help. So I am happy to help them and to share my experience with the younger people. If they have any question, come to ask me how to do this even better, I will give them, I will share with them. That's the way how we live together, sharing experience, sharing knowledge, sharing happiness. So that what I would like to share with the younger generation: be happy, be kind, be generous, be severe, and be happy.
Thank you, Hieu.
Yeah.
For you, Chau, would you like to add anything quickly?
No, I don't. I think that's it myself.
Is there also something that, is there also a younger generation can learn from your personal
For
experience?
me, I think younger, when you're facing something, you have to stand up to do yourself, independent. Nobody can help you. You have to help yourself first, You don't, the same thing I facing the fact that if something happen at home, I look like a queen. I don't know how to boil the one bottle for my father either all my life. But I come here, I don't know how to cook, but I never see the stove and oven and telephone myself either. I don't know how to use, the first time I don't know how to use the stove too. But we learn, first time we cook dry, mess up look like a soup. I do, because my sister young, they don't do it either, they don't know how to. Only I am the older one, I have to handle that. So I start everything in here, I come out. I don't know who to help either, but I don't think people can help. You have to do yourself, you help yourself. If you get stuck, you have to stand up to your own, that's the way I tell the generation after that, everything you have to stand up, do your own first. Don't everything you rely on somebody else help you. No, you have to do yourself, okay? You do yourself first, you love yourself, and after, you have to look after yourself first, and you may have strong way to help your relative, help your friend, help everything. That's myself, I think like that. So I am very independent. Everything I do by myself most, Even I'm married, I still do my own thing. I have my business, I do my own, he have to, because I don't want to interrupt his job. I'm worried if I interrupt something, he cannot handle the job, so he lose the job so well. We have to work together because we don't have no money. And you build a family, you think easy, no easy, right? You need a car, you need a place to live, if you don't have. First of all, that time he ended up his unemployment. He go to school and I have only me work for my two young sisters go to university, the older one, and 3-4 people in the house go to school. Only myself. One time before he get in the job with Nova Scotia Power, I work. That's how he had to stop. He had to find a job. Daytime I work. Up he go to take care for the first boy, and after I finish work, he apply for the job. Ended up that time we still live in the housing, and when he got the job, the housing depend on your income, and they come up. So we have to plan to get the house to move out. If we get the house, we move out. We have we pay the mortgage, and we have some in the house. If you pay for the rent, you move out, you don't have nothing. See, so. We two work, and how we don't have time to take care. I only have the second baby I work for. When he get the permanent job, we only plan have one. Permanent job, we say, okay, now have two. So we have the second one. Only 1 month I carry my kid to work. I breastfeeding everything in the store because I have my own store, right? I rent the space. 1 month my kid playpen down the store there. I do. That's it. I work hard. I do everything. That's it. That's how I said we have to work because we come different country. We don't sit there and wait.
So I would just like to ask you one last question. How would you describe Canada in one word? Can you just give me one word to describe Canada?
Canada is very good to stay, freedom, and if you know how to do yourself, you can do everything. Nobody interrupt you. No, you don't have to worry. Right? That's good, right? Some you have to follow the rule. Everything very different. But Canada, they don't. If we have the guts, stand up, do our right job. We don't do bad things. We will survive.
Okay.
Canada is a great country.
Yeah.
No problem.
Very proud to be live in a great country.
Okay, perfect.